Today, we are going to be doing another guided reading, so make sure you follow along. If I write something down, make sure you write something down. If I'm following along and doing something, you should be doing the same thing. Okay, let's start off. Write your name, class, date, up on the top. Feel free to pause this video at any time if you need to pause this video. If you need more time at all, pause the video. Okay. Read number 1, read to get the gist. Underline and read the first and last sentences. Skim the middle. So we're going to briefly just go over the middle. Ask yourself, what kind of text is this? And get your brain ready to read. So this first read is just to orient yourself to the text. So let's read the first and last sentences. Matter exists in several forms called states. That's the first sentence. And you should have that underlined. Last sentence, it can expand to fill a large container or it can be squeezed into a smaller container. You should have that underlined too. Now, I'll give you 10 seconds to skim the text. Skim your text really quick. Okay, and let's move on to the second page. Number 2, read number 2. Chunk the text. Break the text up into smaller parts. Plan the places you will stop. So let's just start off with paragraphs. That's a pretty good sized chunk. Let's do the next paragraph. And I just did all of the paragraphs because that looks pretty even and pretty doable. So I know that after this paragraph, I'm going to stop. After this paragraph, I'm going to stop. After this one and this one, I'll stop and make notes in the margins. Okay, next page. Read number 3. Read to annotate. What is the thing that the author is talking about the most? What are the most important details? So I already know that this text is going to be talking about states of matter. So I already know that, and I know the first and last sentences, and I have my chunk text. So let's start off with just the title, States of Matter. Matter exists in several different forms called states. The 3 most familiar states are solid, liquid, and gas. So I'm going to write in the margins. You should be writing what I'm writing. States of matter. And then the most important things are solid, liquid, and gas. So I'm just going to write that down in the margins. And you should have this written down as well. Okay, next paragraph. Rocks, books, desks, and balls are examples of solids. So I know we're talking about solids in this paragraph, so I'm going to write solids over here. Okay, and then these are just examples. Matter in the solid state has a set size and shape, and the size and shape do not change easily. For example, when a person moves a pencil from a smaller box to a bigger box, the pencil looks the same. Okay, so this is just an example of this sentence. So I'm thinking that this sentence is really important. I'm going to underline it. Okay, and then I'm going to make some notes. So solids, we have some examples. I'm just going to give one. I like desks the best, but you can pick whatever one you want. They give 4. And then matter in the solid state has a set size and shape. So I'm going to write that down. Set size and shape. Now, if you're confused about that, you know what section to go to when it gives an example for set size and shape. Okay, next paragraph. Milk, orange juice, and water are examples of liquids. Okay, right off the bat, I know we're talking about liquids in this paragraph. Liquids. In the liquid state, matter has a set amount or volume, but its shape varies depending on its container. For example, milk changes shape when a person pours it from a carton into a glass, but the amount of milk stays the same. Okay, so this is an example of the previous sentence. So I'm just going to underline the previous sentence right here, because this seems to be the main idea of this paragraph. Okay, so like before, we have some examples of liquids. So I'm going to put an example, and then I'm going to pick maybe water. I drink water the most. Okay, and then in the liquid state, matter has a set amount or volume. So set amount or volume, but its shape varies. So the shape changes. And if we're confused about that later, we can always come back and look at the example that they listed here. Okay, and I think we have all of our notes for liquids, so let's move on to the last paragraph. The air we breathe and the helium used to fill balloons are examples of gases. Okay, this is gases. Right off the bat, I'm going to write that down. Matter in the gaseous state. I see the word gas here, so I'm just going to say maybe that's gas state, but maybe that's just an adjective. Gaseous state does not have either a set size or a set shape. It can expand to fill a large container, or it can be squeezed into a smaller container. Okay, that's interesting. So we have set size, set shape, and it does not have either of those things. I'm looking for examples. Oh, the air we breathe. So examples, since we listed examples for solids and liquids, I'm going to put an example down for gases too. So air. And then does it have, in the other ones it says set size and shape, set amount, volume, shape changes. So what does it say here? Set size and set shape, but it does not have those things. So no set size, no set shape. Okay. And I have all of my notes down, but I want you to give this paragraph, this text, another read and see if you can make some more notes in the side, just so that you will be able to remember this better. So spend the rest of the 12 minutes, however long you have left, to reread the text and add notes.